Helen Yee here with Eyes on the Game here at the MGM, being joined by the one and only, the legend himself, Mr. Stitch Duran. Great to see you here. I feel like it's been a minute since we last spoke, right?
Yeah, Helen, it's been a long time. It's nice to come back to Vegas and, be involved in a big fight like this. And I've been everywhere but Vegas, so it's nice to come home.
Well, speaking of big fights, Pacquiao versus Thurman goes down this weekend. How do you see that fight playing out?
I think, entertainment-wise, I think it's the kind of fight that Las Vegas needs right now. And, people are always asking for predictions and what have you not. But the way I look at it is if it goes the distance, I see Manny winning. I think his conditioning and his experience are enough to win the judges. But I think if it goes down to a knockout, I got to give it to Thurman.
Now, you were just across the States, right, for the bare knuckle fight, yes. Paulie versus Artem. What did you think of that fight?
Oh, I loved it. It was just the excitement, the build-up. It's like Conor McGregor when he fought Mayweather. The build-up was so strong, and I was in Tokyo and people were asking me about the fights. Just like when Mayweather fought McGregor, I was in China and people were asking. But I told Dave Feldman, whatever he paid Paulie, he got that 10 times back on advertisement. Because from what I understand, the UFC and the bare knuckle fights had pay-per-views the same day, and the bare knuckle fights outsold them.
Oh, wow. But what did you think of Paulie's performance? Because a lot of people know, and I'm sure you know, his hands, they're kind of brittle. So what did you think of how he did in there?
Yeah, well, it's a different world. I tell people, boxers and MMA guys, to cross that line and go into bare knuckle fights, mentally it's a different game. Strategy-wise, it's a different game. In the first 2 rounds, Paulie tried to use the skills that that he's had, but it's a rough and tough fight. And Artem closed the gap, and there they have a technique where you call dirty boxing. I get you behind the head and punch you, and I think that's what benefited Artem in the long run. But you got to give Paulie a whole lot of credit to do what he did, because mentally it takes a different game.
Were you surprised Artem won?
No, I just didn't know who was going to win. I just work him, but no, I'm not surprised that he won. I think, tough guy, and like I say, I think that MMA advantage was the advantage.
Last time we spoke a lot was during the Mayweather versus McGregor, that whole build-up. And I think I did ask you about Paulie and kind of that sparring video, he and Conor. I mean, after watching his performance against Artem, who do you think is telling the truth about that?
Oh, I got to go with Paulie. Number one, you don't disrespect anybody in our game, especially at this level. And, Paulie is a gentleman at what he does. And, I know it was all hype, and, nobody does hype better than Conor McGregor. So to get under Paulie's skin, to me, I think was bad. I think it was wrong. And, Paulie retaliated in that. But in building that up, they had a good show for the bare knuckle fight. So, it came to a pretty good ending.
But do you think Conor will be back?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Why? That's the question. Why? I think he's doing well. Business-wise, he's done well. And I think it's only getting bigger and better. But why? That's the question. Why? He don't need it.
Yeah.
He's already proven himself, and I don't see him coming back. And if he does, good for him.
But Nate Diaz is coming back to fight Pettis.
Nate Diaz has always been in the mix to want to fight. You got to love Nate. We're from the 209, and I've known Nick and Nate for a long time, and I've worked with them all. And but they're just gutsy. They're a horse of a different color. They have that 209 strength.
Do you think he beats Pettis?
I think so. I think it's likely. He's good as a boxer on the outside. He's very unorthodox. I know he used to work with Andre Ward, and Andre used to say that he's very unorthodox, but his contact ratio is high, and I think that's a big benefit. Plus his jiu-jitsu. So yeah, I see him do good.
Well, that'll be a good fight. But lastly, what's up, Caleb?
What's going on, guys?
Hey man,
what's going on?
He gets his suits done at Stitches.
At
right?
Stitches.
Yeah, he does. No,
Stitches.
He does, man. Nice little.
By you?
No, that's the name of the store. It's at the Cosmo, but it's called Stitches. So hey, little plug for Stitches, man. I want a suit too.
Yes, get Stitch a suit. And lastly, though, what have you been up to? We know you're doing the boxing this weekend. What else have you been up to?
Yeah, well, I was in Germany. I got the assignment with Triple G. So June the 8th, I was at the Garden working with him for the first time, which was great because a lot of the Klitschko people that work behind the scenes were working with Triple G, so it's putting the family back together. But I went to Tokyo with Salas. He had Kazuto Ayoka won a world title. Got home. I'm with FFC here at the Rio. We signed a 3-year deal with Caesars Entertainment to hold fights at the Fight Dome, which was developed by Orsat Zovko. Then, of course, I went and did the bare knuckle fights, and I'm working with Ugas, Yordandis Ugas tomorrow, Saturday night, and then bare knuckle fights August the 10th, and so on and so on and so on.
Wow, well, always staying busy, and I'm always grateful for your time. Thank you so much.
Of course, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.